You know, it's become a thing since post-COVID, right? This whole term now, in corporate terms especially, quiet quitting. People quit before they quit. You know, spiritually, scripturally, the Bible says Peter started following Jesus from afar. He started following from a distance after the shame, after the guilt. And so I got to think about, you know, what are the things that distance us from the Lord? Why do we follow from afar? Why do we quit on the job before we quit on the job? Literally, one of the stats that we pulled up during the book is 15%, only 15% of people who work in the workplace are actually passionate about the job. The rest of them are just there, occupying space, checking social media. I don't know what they're doing, but they've lost their passion for their job. Then you have...
But that applies to the church, you know. What percentage of the church is actually tithing or more?
Okay.
10 to 15%. What percent of the church actually serves in the church or in the community? It's the same 10 or 15%. And statistically, 80% of the church is fat, 15% is muscle. Now, you're a marathon runner.
Yes,
you
sir.
don't want to run with 80% body fat
Yes, sir.
and 15% muscle. You can't run.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so it's not just the corporate world. Some of us have quit on even the Great Commission.
Really. So they said
It's a
the
great
other
idea,
day,
but I'm just not going to go.
Yeah, only 75% of pastors who start out, 75% do not finish. So only 25% actually finish the tenure of their ministry without quitting, without giving up, without caving in. And of course, again, post-COVID, the stats on anxiety, suicide rates.
Or people who just stopped going to church, just watching online at home instead of, the Bible says, forsake not the assembling of ourselves together, because he knew we needed to be with people.
They're not coming back. they've declared it's not over. You know, it's so precious. Literally 5 minutes before I walked out here today, a member from our San Antonio campus sent me a text that I just gave your book to a lady I know out of state. Her husband died of cancer in 2024. And in page 38, we say in the book, you have to decide every day what version of yourself is going to show up. Amen. Is the blessed version going to get out of bed? Is the version that's going to move forward, that's going to continue to live your life? And so this whole book is about me saying, get up, get out of that grave. It's time to live. God's not done. He's not through with you. Your best is ahead.
Well, what I like about your book is it goes into the core of, what do you really believe?
Yes.
Is God good?
Yes.
You know, is he faithful? Is he able to use you? You know, because I feel like so many believers, their believer is broken.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They don't really believe God is going to get them through. God's not, God, he's a smaller God.
Yeah.
You know, but he's a big God. And your book really highlights that and stuff like that.
You know, Doug, I got to thinking about it. I mean, we serve a resurrection God.
Right. Amen.
I talk about people falling into different pits, you know. Psalm 40, he said, you brought me out of a horrible pit. And then the original Hebrew, if you make some connections, it really means echo chamber. Voices in your mind that tell you you're through, you're defeated, you're not enough, you'll never measure up. You know, science teaches us about those neural pathways in the brain, and it's almost like the path that you make in your yard, the path you frequent and go down, you leave these trails in the grass. We have those trails in our mind, but what you're talking about, Doug, is where we set a new trajectory, a new resurrection. We get a new resurrection voice in our life. We've got our granddaughters, and you know, the two of them live here in Dallas, so I get to go over and see them this afternoon.
Well, we have a picture, I think, of all the family. There's like a million grandkids there.
Yeah, there's the crew. that is Disney Cruise 2024.
Okay, wow, that was the trip,
Thanks,
right?
Grandpa.
Oh.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Yeah. Thanks, Grandma. she's got the big heart.
She's the real star.
Yeah, she's the real star. But you know, we always, when they're with us, the volume gets up there like 125 decibels. You know, and we're like, now, baby, use your inside voice. Use your inside voice. And I translate that into the book. How as Christians, we need to get our resurrection voices on. on. God's not dead. He's alive. Why do you seek the living among the dead? What does your resurrection voice sound like? God is for me. I'm going to get over this bad breakup. I'm going to get through this divorce. Bankruptcy doesn't stop me. Not getting that loan, not getting that grant, it doesn't stop me. God has something more for me.